the Yep, I Like Wrestling Podcast.
You see what I did there? Are you gonna start?
Oh, yeah.
Are you real right now?
The greatest general manager. Jesus. I'll allow it.
That's peon moves.
Yep, I like wrestling.
Greetings, reports unknown. My name is Sonny Sofrito, and today I am joined by
the greatest general manager in Yep, I Like Wrestling history.
And I'm also joined today by
Vick The Villain
from the
HPC Podcast. Welcome back. Oh, wrong show.
Wrong
Sorry.
show.
Wrong
Wrong
my bad.
show.
Sorry, Sonny.
Welcome
Gotta
back,
get
sir.
used to this, you know?
Yeah.
Not driving today.
So today we're joined by a good friend of the podcast, good friend of mine, Vick The Villain from the HPC Podcast, who came to join us today for our special episode where we will be discussing Raw, among other things. We are not discussing SmackDown today because we're actually recording on a Tuesday.
Oh, I thought this felt weird, Sonny.
Yeah. So because we're recording a little bit earlier for your Yep, I Like Wrestling opinions on SmackDown, please go to our Facebook page, facebookpage.com/YEPILW, and check out the unpopular review, folks.
Oh, shout out to April.
Yo, wait. You're not shouting out any other guys?
No, that's it. Just April. Hello, April.
Shout out to April, as well as Stefan, Patrick, and Chris.
Do they still work here? Okay. Sorry, Sonny.
Listen, just because I don't pay them doesn't mean that they don't work here.
Wait, we're not getting paid today?
Yo, what the fuck? You too?
Someone didn't read his text messages today.
I never read the contracts. I always skip the bottom parts.
That's so not good with
whatever.
Sonny.
It's on me, guys.
Thank God for small print. So,
And small dicks. I'm sorry,
Hey,
Sonny.
whoa.
I'm so sick. I'm sorry. I have a little cold. Or AIDS. One or the other, Sonny. I'm just one or the other. I'm kidding.
So-
I don't have a cold.
all I'm
Sonny.
gonna say is to either take some Theraflu or some AZT.
I do. Oh, both. I get both from Dwayne Reed. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
God.
Shout out to Dwayne Reed. Do you know they have aspirins in the same aisle as condoms? I'm going to leave that with you. That's Dwayne Reed. That's Dwayne Reed. I'm leaving that image with you. And there's no punchline here, people. Go to your local Dwayne Reed. You will find condoms in the same aisle.
You're going to have like a herd of people just to go be curious now. Just to go see it.
Go look.
Oh, man,
You know
that's
what?
dope, though.
I want to go to every single Dwayne Reed right now and just put a fucking Yep, I Like Wrestling flyer right there.
It's no joke.
And just be like, you see?
Told you so.
People are fucking with headaches, Sonny. I don't know what to do. Oh, no.
Hey, well, they go hand in hand.
Go on. Do what you got to
Or
do.
hand.
I see what you did there.
Nice,
I see what you did there, Sonny. Let's
So,
do some
please make sure you check out the unpopular review, folks. And they're on our Facebook page, facebook.com/YPILW. Also, follow them on Instagram at UPRYEPILW. That is for unpopular review. Yep, I Like Wrestling. And let's move on. So,
We've got some news.
yes, we do.
The newest entry into the WWE Hall of Fame is going to be the Hart Foundation. Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah, man, I'm kind of surprised.
Surprise? Really?
Kind of surprised that they're doing it this year at the time that they're doing it. I mean, it feels like DX is the headliner, and I just didn't expect to see the Hart Foundation be added, the same year.
It's definitely star-studded, to say the least, I guess.
Well,
right?
we've got DX, we've got Harlem Heat, and now we have the Hart Foundation. It's tag team heavy.
Very, very heavy.
However, they have used Jim Neidhart quite a bit this past year after his passing.
Yes.
So, I kind of understand it. But my question to you is, no Jimmy Hart? Was I imagining my entire childhood? Where was Jimmy Hart?
Well, I want to say that I did hear the rumors saying that Hart was going to be inducted with a trio when I first heard it. The rumors. Now, I haven't seen a picture of him or any mention at all sense.
Exactly. When I saw the
So-
video package last night on Monday Night Raw or Monday Night Wrestling program, I didn't see any Jimmy Hart, and Jimmy Hart was like always around him. So I don't remember seeing Jimmy Hart in any of those video packages.
So is Jimmy Hart actually in the Hall of Fame? Because I can't remember unless I imagine all of the 80s, which is very easy because I had quite the cocaine problem.
It's possible, but and you would, but he went in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005.
Oh
man.
wow, okay.
The only thing is that I don't know if he's gonna be a part of the Hart Foundation being inducted, or not. Because I mean that's the thing that wasn't really clear. He wasn't in any of the video packages. So
Well, if you're saying he was in the Hall of Fame already, I think I can see him not being inducted in right now, not being part of it.
but
this
I mean,
go
is
around.
that kind of fair? I mean, the dude was the manager of the Hart Foundation, and I mean his last name is Hart.
Yeah, he fits perfectly.
And I remember he had that iconic megaphone. Like, he would always bring that megaphone to the ring, and he would actually use it as a weapon sometime. Shout out to the 80s. They had the best managers in the 80s. But here's the thing. If he's not inducted with the Hart Foundation, he at least has to induct them.
That you know
He's
what?
the one who has
yeah,
to do the speech.
yeah.
If anyone else does it, it makes no sense.
That's
Very
true.
true.
That's
You
true.
know, because as much as I want to hear Natalia Neidhart speak, even her own husband doesn't want to hear her speak. So,
Right.
no.
No, so
There
okay,
goes that idea.
So here's the question: If-
9 inches, Sonny. I keep telling him.
Listen, man, I don't want to know this shit.
Look at
bro.
my Instagram.
No, I do not. I block you
It's
actually.
shout out to
man.
blocking.
Yeah.
Shout out to Baron Corbin.
Oh, Baron Corbin.
Why Baron Corbin?
He should be blocking me on Instagram.
You've been
blocked you
blocked
on
by
Instagram?
Baron
Yeah,
Corbin?
man. He don't like truth and good podcasting.
Yo, honestly, I think I need to put you in touch with Kevin Wood. And by the way, if you have
Hey,
not
my
listened
man.
to episode 72
Oh, dear.
of the
Jump
Yep
on
I Like
that.
Wrestling podcast,
Yes.
The rants of all rants.
yeah, that was a rant that went up there with Tupac.
Shout out to Tupac, who killed Biggie. Now, truth or false, Sonny, Nikki Bella.
He was already dead.
That's what you say, and you're in denial, Sonny. Nikki Bella.
So wait, he killed Biggie, then went to Cuba again?
See this?
Stirring the pot.
See,
Stirring the pot.
stirring the pot. We're not doing this. We're not making it that kind of podcast, Sonny. This is a wrestling podcast. We talk about wrestling.
Ish.
Yes. And 9/11 being an inside job. Now, I keep hearing that. Oh,
hey.
no.
Those are the thoughts and opinions of Teddy, and they do not represent the thoughts or opinions of Yep I Like
There
Wrestling.
goes number one.
Fine.
Exactly.
Well, President
Disclaimer
Bush,
City.
I'm watching you.
So, Vic and Teddy, let me ask you this question.
9 inches.
Will you stop that fucking shit, man? I'm not asking you that. I will never ask you that. Trust me. I don't even want to know that. I don't even want. Listen, you know what?
Our listeners have a right to know.
Hey, wait, hold on. You know what? How large is your phone? How long is your phone? I don't want to know. I don't care. I don't care. I don't
It's
care.
an iPhone 2.
No,
I
no.
don't know.
Exactly my point. I don't care. I don't want to know.
Fine, Sonny.
Hey, when
hate
it
the
comes to
truth.
measurements, I'll go to Home Depot. Don't give me any measurements.
Oh, shout out to Home Depot.
Shout out to Home
It's
Depot.
all the wood you can
Anyway, listen. Let's move.
Lowe's is pretty good too, though.
My question for you is this: Hart Foundation's going in. Are they basically going in as a tag team or as a faction? Because remember, there was other people down with the Hart Foundation.
No
we had
doubt.
Brian Pillman. We had
Ooh, keep
Owen
going.
Hart.
There it is.
We had the British Bulldog.
Shout out to Davey Boy.
I mean,
No, I don't think so. That's my answer.
I think it's very premature for that Owen alone discussion. I
listen.
don't even think they're even ready for that.
let's be real. This, we're sneaking in China right now.
Yeah.
Are we
great
gonna?
point,
Or,
great
so,
point.
so like, is this a moment to sneak in Owen since Owen's wife doesn't want to have him go into the Hall of Fame?
Yo, I
Vince
think
doesn't like.
if you can do it, do it. But it doesn't look. I don't think they'll do it. I think it's a tag team instead of the faction.
I'm going to agree with Vic here. Yes. Vince doesn't want too many dead people in one Hall of Fame. You have Davey Boy, China, and Owen Hart. It's basically an in memoriam, and Vince likes to pretend people don't die. So no, he's just letting China slide by. I don't think this is Owen
didn't even think of it
and
like
Davey
that, wow.
Boy's. Yeah. But really, when I hear Hart Foundation, I really only think of Brett and Jim Neidhart and Jimmy Hart. Like really, when you first say Hart Foundation,
Yeah, but think about it like this. You and I think about it as Brett and Jim Danville Neidhart, but many people who are fans of the Attitude Era, like someone sitting right next to me wouldn't even think of them like that.
Yeah,
Because remember, that Hart Foundation that we're talking about, that, it's Brett, Jim the Anvil, and Jimmy Hart, that's an 80s Hart Foundation. Yes. The 90s Hart Foundation is really everyone else I included already.
But that was like an edgy, envelope-pushing Hart Foundation, really. Brett was going heel. They were saying "fuck Canada" and they were using bad words. It was
entertaining.
It was the Heart Attack Foundation. I basically, really, what I say. Well, I don't know.
The Stroke Foundation.
Oh yes, the Stroke Foundation.
The Heart Attack.
I saw that video on Pornhub, actually.
I ain't gonna front. The Heart Attack Foundation is kind of funny.
And actually, in 2010, didn't they reform the Hart Foundation with Natalia, Davey's son, and TJ?
Yeah,
Weren't they
facts.
the third incarnation of the
Facts.
Hart Foundation?
Yeah, but it was short-lived for two reasons. One, Davey Boy's son bounced.
Yes.
And then TJ.
Yes.
Oh, we all know what happened to TJ.
Yeah.
Oh, poor TJ.
Samoa Joe. That's what happened.
Oh.
That's what happened to TJ.
Live too, not even televised.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I think he's suffered enough. He has to have sex with Natalia. Now, here's the thing.
God.
Talking
Those are the
about...
thoughts and opinions of Teddy.
Oh, I kid,
Thoughts-
Natalia, I
thoughts-
kid.
I
kid.
Wait, hold on. Are you gonna be our disclaimer counter today?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
Today.
awesome! I
For
am
the
looking
night.
forward to it. Let's see how many we get to.
Disclaimer City, we out.
So now we have the Hart Foundation, and we also have Harlem Heat, and we've got DX. So like I said, this Hall of Fame is going to be very tag team and faction heavy.
There's gonna be more people on the stage than in the actual
Really?
audience.
You know?
Yeah.
And especially if Hillbilly Jim is still talking, which I think he still is, that long-ass speech of his.
So I heard rumors about them making it still star-studded, star-studded, in order to keep the audience there, because
Well, yeah, they moved it to Saturday, so it's like you gotta get you can always tell what WWE's weakest shows are by the commercials that are played during Raw and SmackDown.
Did they play a commercial?
Yeah, so like they did a commercial for during Monday Night Raw. They did a commercial for SmackDown and for the Hall of Fame. Obviously, because they didn't sell that shit out yet.
Right.
So there was no NXT commercial. There was no Monday Night Raw commercial. There was definitely no WrestleMania commercial. So yeah, those are the shows that are having the hardest time moving tickets.
Well, even the people that are there, like, they leave early and shit too. Even that.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Because the Hall of Fame is so bloody long, they are allowed to talk as long as they like,
Yeah.
and it has gone well into 11:30 midnight. That's
Yeah.
way too long for a Hall of Fame. They have got to put a time limit on these people speak. Jim Cornette gave a speech, and he wasn't even being inducted. He just talked for 20 minutes. No, they've got to put a cap on the time limit. They have got to shorten the show.
A couple of episodes ago, we talked about one of the rumored changes they may make where they get rid of the inductor just so that, the inductees come out, say their acceptance speech, and then they're off.
But even that speech has run too long. Hillbilly Jim,
Goldberg.
Mr. T. It's
Mama.
his
Mr.
mother.
T, yeah, Mr. T's still talking about his mama.
It's like, okay, they've got to have a time limit. Mama.
Facts.
I pity the fool that talking about my mama.
Kurt Angle's was even a bit long. It's just like, okay, just put a time limit on it.
It was, what's funny? It's almost kind of like you see these wrestlers in a light where they don't have any direction or any writing. So it's like, all right, how would you book yourself? Yeah. And all of a sudden, you're seeing how they book yourselves. And I feel like the ones that have had the better speeches have been the ones that have actually worked behind the scenes and been better bookers.
Really?
Like, think about it. I mean, Kevin Nash is not an amazing booker. We saw some of the stuff he booked in WCW, but he was a booker nonetheless. Sometimes you don't have to be a good one to know how to book. And I remember his speech at the Hall of Fame wasn't bad. It was actually pretty decent. So it's kind of like, people that have that that frame of reference in terms of production and kind of being behind the camera, they kind of put together a better speech than people that don't.
I remember a very good speech. It was by one Mae Young. It was very informative. It was very entertaining. It was short. It was concise. It was funny. She was in. She was out. Then I remember some very bad speeches, and those just go on and on and on. Much like some of the other wrestling podcasts that I've listened to, Sonny. But
go
still.
on
Yes.
and on
Yes.
and on.
Yes. No one should talk for that long.
I agree.
Yes.
And I'll allow it.
Mr. T.
So I have a question. Do you ever think the NWO will be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
As a faction, like to get the original.
Honestly,
Or
had
like-
it not been for DX going in this year, they would have been going in this year.
You think so?
Yeah, and one of the primary reasons is because I feel like Vince wants to bring Hogan back, which is why he brought Hogan. He brought Hogan back
Shout out
in
to the
Saudi
Ku Klux
Arabia,
Klan.
where they would definitely cheer for him.
Saudis don't
As
know
opposed
anything.
to in the States when he came out for Mean Gene, it wasn't a full pop. There were
Fuck Hogan.
there were. I'm sorry. What was that? What was that?
I did say I was sipping.
No,
I was
no, no,
sipping
no,
my
no,
water.
no.
I was sipping my water.
No. I'm actually gonna allow it, but I want you to say it.
No, I
again.
was sipping my water. I didn't say anything. Fuck Hogan.
I still can't hear you. I'm sorry.
I didn't say anything, Sonny.
No, but it's
Is
like,
your dementia kicking in? I'm just sipping my water.
It could be the Hennessy kicking in, but I thought
I'm
I
sick.
heard you say something.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Fuck Hogan. Fuck Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's what he said.
I'll allow it. It's okay. But
And he's fucking his daughter. But Sonny,
oh,
make your point.
whoa.
I didn't say anything.
Fuck it, I'll allow it.
She likes
So
it.
anyway, whoa.
What?
Must be WrestleMania season here.
Oh, yes. It's the only time he does it.
Oh my God. Yo, you know what?
Brooke Hogan, if you're listening, you know it's true. Sonny, here's my question.
You know what?
How
Those
many
are the
members
thoughts and opinions of Teddy,
Oh, God, here we go.
and they do not represent the thoughts or opinions of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
Sonny, you in denial.
3.
Okay, so running count. How many people were in the NWO? My last count was
Oh,
76.
my. Yeah, I think
Am I
that's about
close?
right.
Am I close?
77.
Damn! I always take off 1 inch because I'm gay. But here's my problem, Sonny.
Shit.
So if you induct the NWO,
Actually, it
what's
was
that?
73. Like this episode.
Nice.
Shout out to 73. So you would induct Hall, Nash, and Hogan as the NWO, or would you just include
No, that's
the
it.
Oh,
Spectrum?
hell no. You don't want all the randoms.
No, that's
It would definitely be Hogan, Nash, and Scott Hall. But, do you bring in the Big Show?
Oh God, he can't fit anywhere. Vic, I have a
Why?
question
Because you
for
feel
you.
sorry for him, maybe?
No,
Oh,
because
actually,
he's-
no. I'm
because
sorry.
he's
He wasn't the. Wait, who was the fourth member? Was it Big Show or was it X-Pac? Because I forgot which one.
X-Pac was 6. I only know because of his name, 6.
Everyone has been in the NWO.
Yeah.
So
Miss Elizabeth
six,
was in the NWO.
like the Umbrella Academy and
Yeah.
shit.
Shout out to Netflix Umbrella Academy. Vic, I have a question for you, sir.
Shoot.
Here we go.
Actually, don't. He's from Jersey too.
Oh, don't shoot. Don't shoot. Shout out to Newark. DX is going into the Hall of Fame this year. Do you consider Tori a member of D-Generation X?
Why are we having this conversation again?
Because he wasn't here when we had that conversation,
I
Sonny.
don't, because if you do, I think if you do, you got to consider Kane. 'Cause
No, that was one night.
So was Tori, right? She
No,
was one-
Tori was with X-Pac for 3
Oh, you're talking about the
months.
storyline. I thought you were talking about something else. Yeah, Tori. Yeah, that's fine.
No, X-Pac
Those
was
are the
fucking
thoughts and opinions of Vic,
See,
and they do not represent the thoughts or opinions of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
That was the worst. That's one. I'm keeping score too. You're not the only one who can keep score around here. Because, okay, with D-Generation X, they're not including Rick Rude and Tori. And by Tori, I don't mean Tori Wilson, who
Okay.
somehow has made it into the Hall of Fame. I guess we have a skank section. But no, they're not including Rick Rude and Tori, who were valuable members of D-Generation X.
I see you with Rick Rude for sure. Because he was in the original
He
cast,
was.
right? Tori,
Was he really? 'Cause
He
I mean,
was.
I mean,
was.
listen,
He
he
was.
was on. Listen, he was there for the very beginning.
He carried the briefcase around.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean,
He
shit.
helped him win a couple
Okay,
matches.
so all right, hold up. Let me ask you this: if Adam Rose would have been going into the Hall of Fame.
For what?
Are you going to tell me
help
that
us all.
the bunny would have went in with him?
No.
See, you're grasping at straws.
No, but
I'm
only
grasping at straws.
only
I'm
because the
sorry,
bunny
I'm
the
sorry,
bunny
but
hasn't been.
Rick Rude to DX is the bunny to Adam Rose.
I
But Rick
object.
Rude has been in some promos
I
with them.
object.
yeah, but it was like barely.
And he's
bro.
helped win some matches, interference and stuff like that.
barely.
That already is a lot more than that bunny right now.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, for the
But I feel
his impact on the entire reign of DX, them being a faction, was like
it was
10%.
short. It was short-lived,
So
very
it's
short-lived.
like
So fine, Sonny. If we can,
that's like saying, oh my God, Daniel Bryan should be going in with the Wyatt family.
see, you're grasping at straws again, or as the Bellas call it, foreplay. You're just grasping at straws, Sonny. It's like, okay, so if that is if you're saying that, that means I can forget some of my co-hosts because they're not here anymore, which I want to do, Sonny. So book that shit. Fine. I got a question. Okay.
Allow it.
So the four. Shout out to my former co-host. You know who you're talking to. Fuck you. Here's the
Oh
thing.
my God.
The Horsemen.
Those are Teddy Stutz.
The Horsemen are in the Hall of Fame.
And I back
Which
him up.
ones though? I mean, well,
However, some of them are not. Chris Benoit is not in for the Horsemen.
Yeah, but
I want to
dude,
say Scotty
but
Romo. Is that the right name?
if you're gonna put Chris Benoit with the Horsemen, that means you also have to add Mongo McMichaels.
You do, and as well
right.
as
And I would
Ole
never-
Anderson is not there either, which I really think is the bad one because he started it with Ole Anderson.
Yeah, but
So
Ole
how about-
Anderson, but Ole Anderson started it, but he was like that reluctant, silent owner that was like, yeah, I'll help you guys get it off the ground.
He's
but
a rabid racist. I don't want him in, but I just
Yeah.
feel if you're going to induct a faction, the entire faction goes in. That's my thought.
yeah, but the entire faction.
like
I
if
mean-
we get voted, best new podcast of the year, if they say Sonny Sofrito and don't say me and Taro, first of all, I'm burning the fucking place down. So fuck everyone. It's like you just can't pick and choose a
All right,
faction.
okay.
well,
So
I'm
wait,
sure-
wait. So hold up. So if they do best new podcast,
Which we should be voted for, Sonny.
and it's Yep, I Like Wrestling.
Yes.
That means it's us
Yes.
and everyone we've ever done.
You can't.
I better get a fucking ring.
That means everybody. That means everybody has to get on the has to get acknowledgement, including Vick the Villain.
Yeah.
Listen.
And,
it's-
and guess what? Don't be mad at me if I take that ring and I accidentally drop it in the garbage on Wednesday night.
oh my God.
No disrespect.
He's
I-
pulling
I-
at Alundra Blade.
But like I said, including him, really, it's his first fucking night.
It's sort of like having an orgy. Either everyone gets in
Correction,
or
it's,
nobody.
correction. It's Vick the Villain's first night. I've also had alter egos on this show prior to this.
Yeah, but this is why you don't have nice things.
No nice things.
This is why
Not
we
one.
can't have nice things.
So check this out real quick. Quick aside. Make sure you check out the HPC podcast.
Speaking of the nice things, that's right. Thank you.
They do a lot of things, which is why they don't have nice things. Which is one of their catchphrases, which I love, like nothing else. 'Cause
Well,
I can't
that's
help-
perfect because if you like no nice things, there will not be one of them at this tailgate this week,
So-
WrestleMania weekend. So you can check
to
us out.
interrupt real quick, let's just break down. If you're going to WrestleMania, you're gonna go out there.
It's gonna rain.
If it's gonna rain, well,
Bring a
I can tell you
poncho
right now,
or two.
I ain't gonna front. It's gonna be kind of cold. So what you should definitely do before anything else, pause this podcast right now. Go on to Amazon.com, search Yep I Like Wrestling. Get yourself a Yep I Like Wrestling hoodie.
Get the general manager shirt too while you're at it.
The Yep I Like Wrestling hoodie is soft and warm as hell.
Yes,
I
like me.
wear no,
Like Tara. Tara's soft. Ass beige.
because it was a long.
It was a
week.
long weekend of the Poconos.
So make sure you get a hoodie, and then after you get your hoodie, make sure you check out the HPC podcast, who will be tailgating at.
At MetLife Stadium for WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, my
Actually, just
goodness.
the 7th. It's not gonna be the whole week. I'm sorry. I'm just.
And it's a
talking shit.
family affair too. Bring the kids.
Bring the kids. I'm just not watching them.
We're not watching them. And please bring your own kids because we don't want kidnapping. Bring your own kids, please.
One and done for me. I'm good.
Shout out.
Shout out to Bay and Son.
Shout out to hysterectomies.
Oh goodness.
So,
Rest in peace, uterus. I have a question, Sonny. Quick question.
what's the piece of your uterus?
To uterus. Oh, yeah, mine's done. I'm pregnant, Sonny. And you're the godfather, so stop pretending you don't know that already.
Alistair says she's only gonna make rice, not penny.
She got to make the penny. She's a godmother.
She says she can't do both.
Jeez.
All right.
I have to make somebody else godmother.
I love me some penny.
Hey,
man.
yo, no, wait. She's still godmother.
She can't be picking and choosing. Okay. Can she make pantalones then?
Pantalones. That's
No,
Pantalones.
those are pants.
Hey.
Pasteles. That's the word I was looking for.
Pasteles?
Pasteles. Can she make the pasteles?
Yo, bro, you asking for a lot, bro.
Come on. She's a godmother of me and Ricochet's baby.
Do you understand how much of a process pasteles is?
No, I don't, because I can barely pronounce it. So no, I
we-
don't know.
We do, dude. We go to a pastel party like in December, and no lie, it's like a 16-hour process, and it's like 17 of us and shit in one of our coworkers' house, and it's like a sweatshop, like and we all walk out of there with like 2.
This really is a fucking sweatshop.
It's a fucking sweatshop.
All right, fine. She doesn't have to break the pasteles. Fine. Okay, anyway, I have a question. Sonny, which was a better faction? The right to censor or the corporate ministry?
Oh, corporate ministry by far.
Really? Sir,
Yeah.
corporate ministry or the right to censor?
Definitely corporate ministry.
Y'all sleeping on the right to censor, though.
No. I like
Who
the
likes
right to
censorship?
censor.
Who here likes
No.
censorship?
Actually, I like the right to censor, but they weren't on the same level.
No?
No. No, it's like you comparing McDonald's to like some dude that does a shop in Times Square where it's all these artisan spots where they're doing all these gourmet cookies.
Okay.
It's like, come on, man. How you gonna compete with like a big brand with like a small select hipster brand and shit?
I'm going to tell you how we do it, Sonny.
Okay.
The corporate ministry had big names, i.e. The Undertaker, the Big Boss Man, Edge and Christian. You have to think of it this way. The right to censor were all low mid-carders who got a gimmick over. Can you at least... Because look, Steven Richards was a nobody. Ivory was on her way out. Bull Buchanan. Hello? Bull Buchanan.
So was it the gimmick or was it the performers in it?
The performers in it who made that gimmick work.
Yeah.
And they were
I don't
all
know.
lower mid-card.
I think the gimmick itself, at the time that it came out, got it over.
I can see that.
It basically replaced those performers with the performers from the corporate ministry, and what gets a bigger pop.
Well, The Undertaker as a right to censor gimmick would have been awesome.
Exactly, that's my point.
So, it's, but
So-
The
so-
Undertaker...
see that.
The Undertaker does anything except for Sarah, and he makes it over.
Wow,
He did Sarah for quite a long time, and he didn't get Sarah over.
Those are the thoughts and opinions
Oh,
of Teddy.
Sarah, I
They
kid,
do
I
not
kid.
represent the thoughts and opinions of your
Cuatro.
wrestling.
Cuatro. That's 4.
Sarah works at a gas station in my house. It's not that bad for her, Sonny. Unlike Michelle McCool, who works under The Undertaker. Now, here's my problem with the right
Wait.
to censor.
Who's that?
Michelle McCool. I think that was her name.
Who is that?
I don't know. The blonde one. I don't know.
Wait, I know many blondes.
That's true. Shout out to your nightclub days. So my favorite right to censor spot was Terry Reynolds, shout out to the horny she-devil, was standing next to BB, a very not well-known diva, and there was a match going on, and every time there was a pin, one of the ladies had to disrobe a piece of clothing. So it was just like a gauntlet match. Every time there was a pin, a bra came off.
I
A
actually
pin,
remember that.
the pants came off.
This was great television.
And just when Terry Reynolds was about to bear all, the right to censor music hits. Stevie Richards comes out and puts a big cardboard in front of Terry Reynolds, and she's like fighting to show the puppies. It was just hysterical.
So
Instant heat.
Yes, exactly. Instant heat.
allow me to first shout out to my nephew Brandon.
Shout out to Brandon.
I love you, kiddo.
Uncle Teddy loves you too.
I was actually watching that, I think, with him, and he was a young boy. And I walked into the room while that was going on. I was like, like, okay,
Interesting.
where's this going? And then by the end of it, I'm like, yo, dude, why don't you go get me something in the fridge? While I'm staring at the freaking TV, like, yeah, go to the kitchen, bro. No, go give me a bottle of water. Yeah. And I'm like, what?
Good stuff. Like you said, instant heat. And who can forget Steven Richards with those white fucking socks and the black trousers?
Yeah.
So we had
Because he had the super high waters.
super high waters before they were in. So it was just him. And then all of a sudden he added the good father, who used to be the
The Godfather.
Godfather.
Oh,
So we
yes.
had hoes before, and then the hoes were out. Then we added Val Venus and Bull Buchanan.
You know what would have been dope though?
What's that?
Is if they would have changed the hoes into born again hoes, and they would just walked in with them, like the same, like you know how he only had that entourage,
Yes.
but they would have came in with like all having Bibles and then like wearing long skirts.
That would have worked.
That
would have been money.
Like if like they would have all came in like freaking Pentecostal chicks, but they're wearing tight, you know, white shirts and skirts. So it's like you could tell, yeah, they still hoes, but but
They nice hoes now.
they
Nice
nice hoes.
Born
Nice
again
hoes.
hoes.
They born again.
But no, the topping on the cake was when they added Ivory in full pilgrim gear.
Jesus.
And her promos were hysterical because the crowd would be booing and she would be like that Pentecostal chick. She's like, "Don't you all see the light?
Yeah.
These women are scantily clad." And then the crowd would cheer. "Do you really want to see women's breasts hanging out? Hell yeah!"
Yeah, that shit used to get the biggest pop.
Oh, and Ivory had to do it with a straight face. It was fucking hysterical. So,
All right, right
Good
successor
times,
was
man,
dope,
good times.
but not as dope as a corporate ministry.
okay.
And if you change places, I think it's a different story.
First of all, I hate changing places. I'm a bottom, Sonny. Pay attention. Now, here's my
I
thing
didn't
with the
need to know
corporate
that.
ministry. You're my best friend, and I care about you. You need to know these things.
No, I do not.
All I'm saying is this. Corporate ministry, they killed the big boss man in a Hell in a Cell. There's your corporate ministry. They hung the big boss man on live TV. There's your corporate ministry. Okay.
You know what? You ever wonder if Big Boss Man was black? How that would have went?
Oh, Sonny.
Wow.
I would disclaim you, but I like that joke.
Oh, wow.
No, but seriously, like, let's say they try to do that particular gimmick on a black wrestler.
Today? Hell
That
no.
shit
Forget
would have
about it.
been.
So much shit from the Attitude Era would not fly today.
Oh,
Oh,
of course.
no way.
So
Because
much.
the Attitude Era, like, just kind of went like, it. I think the Attitude Era hit certain things, and it was edgy, but it was also at that perfect sweet spot where it got away with a lot of shit.
I would say it was past the sweet spot. They actually crossed the line a few times. Now that I think back, there was some shit that should not have been on television.
Like what in particular?
Al
Mark
Snow?
Henry with a transvestite.
Yeah,
Rough,
I mean,
rough today.
Al
mean,
Snow's
it's-
dog
it's-
being
wait.
fed to him.
Al Snow's head.
Everybody wants head. It's like, oh, geez. There
They
were children
snuck that.
saying that.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's. Well, I agree with the Attitude Era and all that, but I think it also another point is just that today, the day that we live in today is just so sensitive too. Like,
it's politically.
I remember something.
correct to the extreme.
Ventura would say something.
Oh, the commentary.
Yo.
Oh, yeah, they got away with so
there
much.
was something about a last name not being Italian enough for the character,
Yeah.
and Ventura pointed it out one time, and I was like, "Wow, that is not
I think
flying."
Roddy
today.
Piper called him, "Man, you big black bear, come over here." Like he
Wow.
said,
Yeah.
like so
Well,
many
the
things.
'80s was way more fucked up, for lack of a better
I mean,
term.
the Attitude Era, too.
I feel like the
Miscarriages. Kane raped how many women and
Yeah.
got them pregnant?
But
Hello,
Katie
Katie Vick.
Vick.
All I'm gonna say is Katie bloody Vick. Yeah. So they went past the sweet spot quite a few times.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a bridge to the now. I think the stuff in the '80s was fucked up, whereas the stuff in the '90s right now is like, you should have done that.
None of the stuff would fly today with Me
Oh,
Too and
no, hell
Black
no.
Lives
No
Matter.
way.
None of
No.
that.
To a certain degree, I agree with it, and then at the same time, I feel like our generation, the generation now, does not know how to laugh at itself. And,
No,
and
they're
take
soft.
humor.
They're
take
soft.
Humor, yeah.
They're so soft,
Yeah.
fucking hipsters. I mean, I can remember being, watching 10-year-olds pointing to their dicks and saying "suck it," which should not, or putting up their middle fingers when Stone Cold came out. It's like
good
these were
times.
10-year-old boys with their parents standing right next to them at ringside.
Well, the thing is that I feel like it's also been a thing where you can get away with a lot of that craziness, but it has to be there. It's always in a controlled environment. So if you go to Comedy Central and look at a celebrity roast, they'll say some outlandish shit that even in the 90s and 80s you'd be like, oh my God.
That's the right setting.
But it's because now you can only be that way in a controlled environment.
It's the right setting. And actually, going back to the right to censor, that whole gimmick came out from an actual real group trying to censor WWE and then Vince turning it into a gimmick.
Yes, he did.
But the best part about the corporate ministry hanging the big boss man, he wrestled the next night with no fucking explanation. I was like, oh, shit. They didn't say shit about him being hugged. He just came to ringside the next day. Okay, gentlemen, did any of you watch TNA?
Not
kind of, sort of.
heavily.
Aces and Eights.
Oh yeah, I
Good
remember that.
faction or bad faction?
Actually, it's a good faction because that helps me remember that when I go onto the blackjack table, you always split aces and eights.
Shout out to gambling addiction. Aces and Eights, huh? Good faction or not?
Great faction, actually. Did some
Really?
good work. Not you can't really say too much about TNA.
No, not
factions,
really. That's why I
but-
said the only thing I can remember is, hey, when you go to the blackjack table, you always split aces and eights.
But if it was an ace and it's an eights, it was them or Beer Money and teams like that. But yeah, aces and eights is what
Shout
really
out to
stands
Beer
out.
Money. The greatest piece of WWE / TNA soundbite is Ric Flair going against Jay Lethal in a woo-off. Best soundbite ever. Ever. I dare you to find a better soundbite than those two.
You can't do me.
You can't do me. You
Shout
can't
out
do
to
me.
Jay
I do
Lethal,
me.
man.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay, gentlemen.
Jersey.
Dungeon of Doom. What the fuck? There's a faction that I just have to say, what the bloody fuck? Dungeon of Doom.
A
Why?
horrible recreation of the Army of Darkness,
It was just terrible.
which was from the Florida wrestling territory. And yes, I've been watching wrestling for a long time.
Shout out to the territory system.
Exactly.
Shout out to Texas. The Von Erichs used to run Texas territory.
WCCW.
Shout out to
That
the
was
Von
a
Erichs.
gang, yo. Gang of brothers. That's like
The Von
your
Erichs.
high school's worst nightmare, man. You don't want to run into those guys.
You know who
hell
was
no.
one of my favorite dudes back then on WCCW?
that?
Gentleman Chris Adams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites there. As much as they creeped me out in Florida Championship Wrestling, it was the Army of Darkness, which was Kevin Sullivan, who ended up becoming, the whole thing with the guys that you just mentioned. But also, Dusty Rhodes did a lot of work in there too.
Yeah, baby, hard times, baby, hard times.
Yeah, that's when I really became a Dusty Rhodes fan.
There's a
Not
Dusty-
so much at NWA, when it was back in the day on CBS.
Oh,
It was
the
when it was on
Superstation.
Because, I had the old cable system, and I was able to pick up Florida Championship Wrestling on the MSG network, I think it was, and I'll be like, oh, okay. And
That was a good faction, too.
yeah.
Dusty Rhodes by himself. He was fucking huge, Sonny. He was a faction all by himself. He was
Those
huge.
are the thoughts of the pennies
Sir,
that
oh
Teddy,
my God!
One, two, three,
and
four,
they do
fifth.
not represent the thoughts of the pennies.
So you're going to
of
sit here and
people
pretend like he wasn't fat? Is that what we're doing? We're rewriting bloody history?
listening. No, but he was large.
He was humongous.
Yeah.
Still not as big as Samoa Joe. Now, here's my final question, Sonny.
I'll allow it.
The New Day. 10 years from now, will our children sit at a podcast talking about how great the New Day used to be back in
What
the
children
day?
are you having?
You're going to have a child. He already has a child. And I'm fucking pregnant now and you're the godfather. Stop rewriting history, Sonny.
Okay, keep on forgetting.
Yes. So in 10 years, will our children sit at a podcast, drunk, talking about the New Day?
Why they gotta be drunk?
Because we're drunk. So we're passing on the legacy of alcoholism.
Okay.
The New Day. Great tag team.
Yes.
Great faction. My
Yes. Yes.
You really think they're going to be considered a great faction?
Yes.
I think
Really?
they have to at this point.
Why, Sal?
They have
Why?
to. So
Because
over.
they've been together. They've had great matches.
Shout out to
And-
Paige and Xavier. That was a great match.
And they've entertained for
It was a
they've
triple
entertained
threat, no?
consistently
They,
for
they
for-
entertained Brad Maddox a
The triple
lot.
threat.
That was only one of them.
That was the greatest tag match ever. Brad Maddox was fixing
That was-
it.
2-on-1
It was a visual. Okay, listen, real quick. If we're gonna reference that video,
What video, Sonny?
you know,
I
what
didn't say
vid-
anything about a video.
All I'm gonna say is this: that shit was a visual TED talk because that shit was awkward as hell.
Oh goodness, Brad Maddox, what were you doing?
Yeah.
But yes,
He was doing a documentary. That's what he was doing.
he was Steven Spielberg.
Masterpiece.
That was the best camera work I've ever seen. So the New
I still
Day.
haven't seen footage from his camera.
I mean, really, he's still editing it. I don't know. I don't know about the New Day. Like,
You don't know?
I don't know. Don't you think that they're a bit cartoonish to be a great
I
faction?
think that's what's great about them. The fact that
Really?
they're different and that they're just so over and colorful and they they attract all audiences and stuff. So
I'll give you that. They're great for the kids,
for the kids,
but great
for the-
faction.
and well, their tag work's good. Their in-ring work is good. Each individual can go off on their own too. It's kind of like one of those Shield stables, right? Each one can can go off on his own and become I don't want to say a heavyweight champion because that might be a stretch.
Big E's a heavyweight by himself already. He's
at least singles run, right?
Within time, Big E will end up having a major title.
And they've done a lot. They're trusted with a lot too, marketing wise.
And hosting
and
WWE.
They've done a lot already.
Studios.
What factions have done that much extra for the company?
WWE.
I don't even think not by choice either. Maybe just opportunity probably wasn't there either back in the 90s in the Attitude Era. There wasn't really much.
It was
much
all
opportunity.
DX.
It was all
DX.
That's it.
So you know what? It's funny because we're looking at WrestleMania coming up, and they made Alexa Bliss the host.
Yes.
But I feel like they made her the host because it was like, all right, listen, we don't have anything for you.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
If with her, it felt that. With 2 years before, with New Day hosting WrestleMania.
Yes.
When they hosted WrestleMania, it kind of felt like, not so much they didn't have anything for them, but hosting WrestleMania was better than them being in some irrelevant feud.
I definitely see that.
Whereas with Alexa Bliss this year, it's almost as if we want to include you because we know you're still popular, so we're just gonna have you do this.
I've gone on record in saying before myself personally that this is the "We Have Nothing For You" award.
Yeah.
But I think this thing for Alexa, I'm worried more about it being her injury, if anything. I feel strongly that it should have been Alexa Bliss in one of the women's matches.
But I hear she's cleared.
year.
I hear she's still injured. I don't know what to believe.
I'm confused. That's why I'm thinking: is it a cover-up? Is it maybe they're not? It's more than they're leading on.
And where the fuck is Mickey James?
Yeah.
I hate that we just don't reference people anymore. Mickey James isn't here.
You know who else doesn't reference her?
Who's that?
John Cena.
Ooh.
Oh, John Cena.
I was gonna say Kenny, but yeah.
Oh, Kenny. Yes, that's true.
Actually, that's because of John Cena.
John Cena has ruined so many households,
Oh man.
Including his own.
including his own.
Shout out to the
So
Bellas.
since we're talking about the Bellas. Oh goodness. Since we're talking about WrestleMania, have you guys noticed this is the first WrestleMania where we will not have a John Cena or Undertaker match?
Don't tell that
Is
to my
this a
son.
changing of the
Yo.
guards? I think times are a changing.
So I was just talking with Kervin about this, and
shout out to Kevin.
Shout out to Curve.
I feel like, the reason why business is kind of down is you don't have that one polarizing figure to gravitate all the fans to want to be interested in WWE. As in past WrestleManias, there was more of a buzz going into the show. This year, it doesn't feel like there's that big of a buzz.
Yes.
And I think it has to do with the fact that there isn't a polarizing figure that brings everyone together. WrestleMania, it being about the Undertaker, people are like, yo, I want to watch Undertaker. People that don't watch, because the fans, the hardcore fans are gonna come out for WWE no matter what it is, whether it's Fastlane or WrestleMania. What puts WWE over the top are the casual fans, and you can't have casual fans if they're not interested in anybody that doesn't really transcend. And there's no one transcending right now.
There's no real buzz besides the one coming from Jeff Hardy. So what do you think about this? The
Those
Undertaker.
are the thoughts and opinions
Sonny!
of Teddy, and they do not represent the thoughts and opinions of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
That is 6, my good sir.
So y'all gonna pretend y'all didn't see that TNA match? Fine, you're all in denial. Sir, have you noticed that the Undertaker and John Cena on here? Could this be a changing of the guards, that the old heads are dying off?
This is it, gentlemen.
You think this is
We're
time?
moving forward.
Remember, it's not that they're not going to be there. It's that they're not in a featured position.
Well, John Cena may be there, but I'm pretty sure the Undertaker will not have a match.
Even if he does, it's still not featured.
I'll tell you what,
'Cause
I'm not expecting him next year now,
No, not at all.
or at least going forward.
So could this be times are changing? We have no more of yesteryear. Now it's all about new guys and new experiences.
Or as Taris calls them,
New bitches.
I like
We've
that.
got NXT call-ups. We've got the men now who are considered veterans, who used to be young. Shout out to Randy Orton, who is now considered a veteran.
Yeah.
He's being featured. It's like our old guard is sort of dying off. Like, unfortunately, we have to watch Triple H and Batista break both their hips during WrestleMania. But honestly, do what I want.
I would like them to come out with a faction for Batista out of this.
It's called a
With
nursing
some
home.
new
Yes.
guys.
No. It's called the Guardians of the NDC.
The guard. Did they make a reference to that in one of the
did.
promos?
Yeah, when he came out, when he was like, "Give it a what? Give it a what? Give it me.
With
Give it a what?"
blazer.
Give me what I want. Oh man.
So, shall we go on to some other news, sir?
Like the fact that Joan Jett is gonna perform Ronda Rousey's entrance music
Yeah,
at
that's
WrestleMania.
big. As a music lover myself, that's
Nice.
big.
Yo, honestly, I ain't gonna front, man. I'm looking forward to the entrance of that match, yo. Because honestly, I've always been a Joan Jett fan.
Yes.
And I've always liked Ronda Rousey's song. Even when she was in UFC, it's like I hear that song and I'm like, I don't care about how's it go?
Damn reputation.
I don't care about my bad reputation. Yeah, I like the song. I've always liked the song.
I love
Before Ronda
WrestleMania because if you are champion, you are given an over-the-top entrance
Yes.
at WrestleMania. That's sort of Vince's,
That's the show.
gift to you.
Yeah.
So Triple H has had very elaborate entrances. The Undertaker, I think, have had the best WrestleMania entrances.
Wow.
Really?
Oh, he's had some of the most
I-
iconic entrances
Taker.
ever.
You know what?
Yes.
Honestly, I think John Cena had better.
John Cena has had
Cena's
some.
has
This,
some.
this is Vince's gift to you. He gives
No,
you an
of course.
elaborate WrestleMania
Of course.
entrance.
Yeah.
Although, he gypped Naomi out of her WrestleMania entrance. Because as a Naomi head, we were like, the whole fucking aisle is going to be glow. She's going to slide. He gave her fucking nothing.
No, he
'cause
gave-
she's
he
black.
There was
Yeah,
no
we
way
used
she
to
was
do
sliding
shit.
that whole ramp. Though.
But he should have given her something big. And Naomi was-
honestly, if she, think about it. How is she gonna slide the whole ramp?
They
You
needed
gonna
to put a
baby
wheelie.
oil? You gonna put baby oil down that whole fucking shit?
Shout out to chocolate pudding matches when everyone had
KY.
baby oil.
Yo, imagine.
Oh, shout out to KY Jelly. She would have slid right into Leo Rush. No, this is how we do.
Yo,
this is
she
how we
would have
do.
slid through the ring,
Shout out
through to the other
Bobby
side.
Lashley.
Yo, she would have been beheaded. She would have lost both arms. God, it would be like an episode of. It would have been like an episode of Walking Dead and shit.
Oh,
No.
man.
Rewind to WrestleMania 3. If you remember Andre the Giant being put on that little thing and being
Yes.
wheeled to ringside.
Yes.
That was because he couldn't fucking walk, bro.
But this is how you would have done it. Let Naomi do her dance. Then she jumps on one and it speeds her to the ring. So it's sort of like she slid to the
And
ring.
then you're gonna risk her fucking being
well,
thrown
but she
into
better
a
fucking
crash?
hold on. Fucking hold on
They'll
for
give
dear
her a
life.
seatbelt.
You crazy?
Give
She
her a
would have
seatbelt.
fucking
She got
died, bro.
I mean, they could have thrown her something, but
Hey,
she got gypped.
All
got
she
gypped
gotta
out of
do
the
is
intro.
flip over and land
on her fucking head,
like a crash.
and
just
died.
hold-
I was thinking
Either
the
way.
other side of her body, but hey, yeah, whatever.
and she would have broke
Bounce
both
back up?
hips.
Now she would have bounced back
Listen,
up.
her ass is fat, but ain't that fat. She would have broken both her fucking heads,
She got
and then she would have lost the fucking match anyway.
Yeah, probably that for sure. That's a fact.
Or you would have gave her whiplash and shit. How
she
you gonna jump
practiced.
onto a fucking cart and then tell she was gonna speed to the ring?
Listen, I'm just the idea guy. I'm not the execution guy, okay?
Logistically, it's a bad idea.
Fine. Most of my ideas are bad, Sonny. How long have we been doing this podcast?
That's true. You wear a fur hat in the summer.
What hat? Sonny. Joe Jett herself is going to be doing this for Ronda Rousey. That's huge. Anytime you get the actual artist to sing their song live,
That's mine.
and especially when you are rock royalty, that is fucking huge.
Well, WrestleMania, right? I mean, he has to get the celebrities too, right? I'm surprised it was just those SNL guys, though.
Oh my God!
I'm actually looking forward to it
Sonny, stop it.
because I'm an SNL fan,
Stop. So
and
am
I'm
I,
dying to
but come
see
on.
what they do in the ring. Hey, listen, you know what? I'm
Waste of time.
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to Colin Jost and Michael Che.
It's a waste of time.
I have more issues with the build for it than anything.
Waste
Well,
of time.
yeah, I mean,
I guess you'll get there.
it was too. See, the thing is that they're doing too much SNL while they're not doing enough WWE.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
They're
That's
taking
why-
a spot that someone else could use. That's so stupid.
I don't know. I don't watch SNL, but
Oh, I watch
would've-
SNL religiously.
I would have
so that's why I'm
expected
like,
somebody more star power at least. More like you think they could have gotten more?
No, honestly, SNL is just right because of the fact that it's New York and you're gonna have
Right.
them do something on SNL. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if they don't have someone on the April 6th show on SNL representing for WrestleMania, it is a total. There's no sense in having them involved.
So tune in, I guess.
So yeah, so Saturday, April 6th. Make sure you tune in to Saturday Night Live because I'm pretty sure someone from WWE is going to be on.
It's a bad enough WrestleMania is going to be like 8 hours long. We're really going to use stupid spots like this to make the show longer. It's such a waste.
Dude,
It's
it was going to
such
be
a
9
waste.
hours anyway.
It's such a waste. It really is. Like, that spot could be given to someone who needs it.
Like who?
I don't know, Zack Ryder, someone who could use it.
Whoa.
Kurt Hawkins, someone who could use it. Someone who's been, anyone,
Nah,
Alicia Fox, anyone could have used those spots. And
She's
you're
in
giving
rehab,
it to
bro.
Michael Che and Colin Jost, as fine as he is. In any event, Sonny, can I get to my good news now? I have good news.
Okay.
Come
What's your
on.
news?
Nikki Bella is officially retired. And I'm not talking about from John Cena scrotum. She is retired
Oh.
from the WWE active list. And after I masturbated for 3 hours, I was happy.
So I can't disclaim part of that because it's actually true.
Right, it's kind of fact.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
gone,
So
son.
she's
I heard
gone.
she's open for a return, though.
She's open for a lot of things, but she ain't coming back. I'm done with her. I'm done. Don't forget to go when you leave, Nikki. Yeah, I'm
I
done
hate
with
to
her.
see you go, but I like to see you leave.
No, I just want to see you leave. Fuck her. I can't.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
She's done nothing for women's wrestling. I know she likes to believe she invented the women's revolution, but she added nothing.
So
I second that,
here's
man.
the thing. She was right person at the right time
To do what?
as far as the women's revolution goes.
No.
No. I'm like I'm not even joking around.
No, neither
was,
am I. No.
She was the right person. I mean, she was the person at the right time and place because of the fact that
She's a hoe.
the revolution started taking off, and she was the bridge between the divas going into the women's wrestling movement again. And the thing is that it was almost as if she's the reason why women's wrestling is gotten as hot as it is to spite her and what she used to do.
You're giving her way too much credit.
No, I'm not. Because the thing is that people were so tired of the Bellas and some of the other talent that were doing stuff the way she was doing
Shout out
it.
to Crystal Marshall. Shout out to Kelly.
Yeah. So because they were tired of it
Shout out
and
to
the
Christy
women were
Henry.
basically kind of revolting towards it
Shout out to Amy Weber.
anymore.
Shout out to Joy Giovanni. I'm just going through my whole list. Sonny.
No,
Keep talking.
I know, but I want to give you a chance to say your full list because it's a valid list. That those performers were what made the fans say, "Listen, we want to see the women that we see on the indies.
Yes.
We want to see the women that are really athletic, the
mean-
ones that are really doing their thing, the ones that are really entertaining."
Something.
Exactly. And when they came into the fold, it was to kind of spite them and spite that style. That's why the Divas title went away.
Thank God.
So,
What do you
Good
think, sir?
riddance.
but it was almost
riddance.
it's almost kind of like, I'll put you like this. You can't have Batman if you don't have the Joker. The Bellas to women's wrestling is the Joker to the Batman of the new guard that's coming in.
Terrible joke, but yeah, I see. It's a terrible Joker.
So what do you think the Bella's legacy will be, sir?
Oh man, it goes down the drain like Total Divas.
I'll allow that.
They already lost ratings too. Total Bellas, didn't they get shut down?
Oh,
Shut down?
God.
Or
they-
they signed a new thing from Total Bellas.
I
Did
don't
they?
know.
I hope not.
I don't watch either one.
Poor people.
I will honestly say this. They were in that era when models were being hired
Yeah.
to wrestle. And if they were not twins, they would not have survived as long had they been. And had they not hooked up with the men they did, they would not have been in this business that long.
But okay, but let's give it to them a little bit and say
Like John Cena. No. No, I'm not doing this.
they did pick up. Listen, they was shit when they first fucking came in.
Were.
They
Past tense.
they
Were.
So
elevated themselves to so like the Bellas. I can't stand them doing a promo. I hate when they talk on the mic.
God.
But when it comes to in the ring, they got a lot better than they were.
Because you can't get any worse than when they were.
No.
When they were
Like,
there.
Well,
Nikki put on a good match. And
when
I think Nikki's the only exception because they were. I don't know if y'all remember, but there was a point Brie needed to get the hell out that ring, man.
she killed Liv Morgan.
Twice, maybe.
yeah, but that was when she came back.
Yeah.
Before she left,
That was
before
weeks
she had
before
her
that,
before
though.
she had her daughter, she was actually better than Nikki. Nikki became better than Brie because Brie was botching.
Yeah, but that there was a stretch like 4 weeks long that led up to Liv that she had been botching prior to that too.
Yeah, but
she was
when
terrible
Bree, when Brie came
downward.
back after having the baby, she was a fucking mess.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, she was a
Do
total
you
mess.
remember
Brie
when-
mode? It was like botch mode. Come on.
It was botch mode.
Botch
Do you
mode,
remember
facts.
when we were punished with Nikki versus Brie? Do you remember that
Yes.
storyline where they hated each other?
And,
SummerSlam
and
thing
Nikki was the better wrestler.
And do you remember the
Actually, no.
the
Actually, you know what?
promos?
The promos were horrible. The promos
Terrible.
were unwatchable. But honestly, I don't know if it was. I was saying Nikki was better, but actually, you know what? I don't know. I think
Sonny,
they
it's
were
like
both
asking
solid.
which is worse, syphilis or herpes. Like they're both bad. You don't want either one of them. Like
Well,
really.
you would know.
I
But-
would know, and I don't want either one of them. They
Um,
they came in at a terrible time. The only reason they got better was because Natalya Neidhart was literally training them. But when they came in, they had no skills, and the only reason they got better was because Natty was doing it. And the only reason they got over was because they had that twin magic gimmick. If it were just Brie who came in, she would have been cut had she not hooked herself up to Daniel Bryan.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nikki Bella would have
The
been
twin
cut
thing.
by herself had she not gotten with John Cena and Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk. And I'm sorry, the list goes on and on. I think she fucks her brother too.
Those
I don't know,
thoughts and
Sonny.
opinions of Teddy because
Lucky
I don't
number
have
7.
confirmation on those things to say the facts.
It's just so. And they
So
keep-
that's 6.5.
Oh, 6.5. Okay,
Yeah.
6.5.
Shout out to my ex,
Oh,
ex's sister. He had a
shit.
huge dick.
Hey.
My ex's sister had a big dick. Yeah, she's a tranny. Sonny.
Was
Hey,
that
it's
the-
2019,
was
bro.
Was that the FBI?
It's the FBI family.
Oh.
By the way, your sister's a man. I know it, and so do you. Anyway, there's a lot about that family I want to tell. Anyway, no, I can't give the Bellas anything. They brought nothing to this business, and they were given everything. So I'm glad they are gone. Take Kelly with you. Take Total Bellas with you. Take it all with you. It's just a moment in history that I do not want to remember. It was that horrible period where Trish and Lita left. And before Charlotte Flair got there, where there was just nothing. It was just an empty, barren wasteland, much like Nikki Bella's uterus. It was just an empty bastion, Sonny.
All right, you know what? So here's where I slightly disagree with you.
Oh, let me put on my surprise face. Sonny disagrees with me.
AJ Lee and Paige were before Charlotte,
AJ Lee. Yeah, and AJ
and
Lee.
and I think they added to the women's division.
They definitely did. AJ
and
Lee.
AJ Lee is the real innovator of the
Facts,
women's
man.
I
wrestling.
will give
Shout
you
out
that.
to Union
But her
City, New
time was
Jersey.
so short, because CM Punk put something inside of her. She was so short, I can't really do much, because she was in and out. And even she lost her belt to a Bella, so it was like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. And Paige was given so much so soon. Yes, she deserved it, but it was like they had nothing else. So they had to put her in, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm just happy she's gone.
I'm just mad that Nikki had to cloud over AJ's reign.
Yeah.
They had to have
Longest
Nikki do
running
that.
diva show. Oh,
Fuck,
bullshit.
yeah.
I could have peed on that belt and made it better. Please. Shout out to Golden Showers. So getting off of those women,
I want to disclaim it, but at the same time, I kind of
Yes.
agree with it.
they sell that belt at the dollar store now. Fuck that belt. Speaking of real women's wrestling, getting off the Bellas, like most men eventually do, Ronda, Becky, and Charlotte will be main eventing WrestleMania. We have arrived.
So,
The women are ending the show, and the end of the show is going to be at
deserve it,
2:30
man.
a.m.
They
So
deserve
I
it.
hope I'm still awake. I
so,
hope I'm
so
still
I'm,
awake.
you know who the first person I thought of?
Who's that?
CM Punk.
Shout out to CM Punk.
Because I remember the story about how CM Punk said that,
AJ's a little boy.
no.
No.
Those are thoughts and opinions of Teddy, and we do not represent thoughts and opinions.
Is that
of the
7.5 now, or is that just gonna be 7?
You know what? Just call it 7. Leave it at that. I don't want to hear nothing else. Leave it at anyway. So the reason why I thought of Kevin Kevin. The reason why I thought of CM Punk was the reason why I thought of CM Punk was because of the fact that I remember that podcast episode that he did where he was talking about him talking to Vince.
Oh,
yeah, with Colt Cabana. What's it called?
I forgot.
Yeah, it's I want to say something the rest of it. It's not that one.
No, it's definitely not that.
It's I remember CM Punk. I think of CM Punk first because of the podcast episode he did with Colt Cabana, where they were talking about his Undertaker match, and he said, "I'm not the main event unless I'm on last." And Vince told him, "Oh no, you're one of the main events because we have multiple main events. If I'm not going on last, I ain't the main event."
Vince is a fucking car salesman.
I always hated that though.
Yeah.
The multiple main event thing.
But the thing is that the last one to go on is the real main event.
That's what it
doesn't
is,
matter what
yeah.
the fuck it is. If you're last, you're main event. The fact that the women in this one are last, it's
Big fucking deal.
your main event. And it just made me think of, CM Punk because of the fact that what he said in that podcast episode, that it was like, yeah, well, they got to wrestle. They're wrestling the main event.
I can't think of 3 other competitors who deserve it. If the women were going to be main eventing, I can't think of 3 better women. You have the star power of Ronda Rousey, you have the wrestling prowess of Charlotte Flair, and you have someone who is white hot right now, Becky Lynch. That is a perfect storm for women's wrestling right now.
Yeah.
So no one deserves a main event better than those 3 ladies, except for me and Ricochet. And that's my last point, Sonny. That's my last point. So I congratulations for main eventing WrestleMania. And they all tweeted it. They were all like, "We've arrived." And I could not be any more proud of women's wrestling right now. I
honestly, I think it's, aside from it being a major achievement, it's great to see that WWE is actually putting them in that light, even though I feel like they should have been acknowledged as the main event weeks ago. Just, if I'm a nitpick.
Okay.
There's only one match I would put above it.
Kofi?
Yeah, if he wins. Because think about it, you have women's wrestling now, ending the night, first ever, or you're gonna have the first ever African American holding up the WWE
So
title.
here's the
I
thing.
see Vince having mini strokes during
And-
both those matches because he doesn't want either one of them to be
Right,
successful.
right.
So here's the thing: if we kind of go back, would Kofi be the first real African American champion?
At least in the last 13 years, yeah.
No, but unfortunately, it's a constant debate because of The Rock
Right.
being half, and it makes it like, oh well, we never have a black champion. Well, The Rock is black. No, he's only half.
Right,
And then
right.
it's
Besides the
it's
fact that Kofi's really technically from Africa, he wouldn't be the African American president. He'd be our first African.
that's
champion.
very
Well, let's
true.
just keep it kayfabe. He's Jamaican.
Yeah,
So-
we don't know what he is. Can we just say he's black?
Yeah. So it's like there's a constant. It's. I mean, listen. If it was Apollo Crews, I'd be like, yeah.
Can't get blacker than that.
No, I mean,
On truth, I suppose.
no, because he's actually American and he's black.
Boring. Yes.
Oh, damn. Not the B I'm talking about.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Well, he did take on Apollo. Baron Corbin took on Apollo Crews. I took a nap, so I don't know what happened during that match because it put me directly to sleep, Sonny. So.
You know what? I'm gonna allow that shit because actually, So check it out. I watched Raw. Well, excuse me. Let me rephrase and rewind. I watched the Monday Night Wrestling program.
Yes.
On a delay. I got home late and watched it off the DVR, and I kept on dozing off after certain segments, and I had
How
to get
could
up.
that ever happen?
Well, I was drinking some Johnny Walker
Shout out to Johnny Walker.
White.
Oh.
It was the special edition from that they did with the Game of Thrones.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that you see the blue when it turns cold.
Yeah. So I have it in
nice.
the freezer. So when I get home, I pour it. Yeah.
Ladies
Anyway,
and gentlemen, don't forget to drink responsibly when you drink things, and don't be behind the wheel of a car, except if you're chasing your girlfriend down the street.
to run her over.
Shout out to domestic violence. Sonny, Finn Balor, were you awake during the Finn Balor match? Because he took on Bobby Lashley and Jinder Mahal
So
with Leo Rush and the Singh sisters at ringside. So basically, Finn took on 2 tops and 3 bottoms. Yes.
So when I was watching that match, I literally thought of you and it said, "Oh, I'm not doing this shit." Yes. Because I was like, I could already picture my recording with you today and saying, Teddy's gonna be like, "Oh, it's 5-on-1," and I'm like, "Shit,
Oh, it was
it's
definitely
fucking bullshit. I don't want to hear this shit."
It does. Okay, so you know how you straight guys go out and then you bring your girlfriends reluctantly because you never take your girls anywhere because you're fucking cheap. But when you do bring your girls, you put the girls together so they can talk, and then the fellas get together so they can talk. That's how that match went. Jinder Mahal and Bobby Lashley were talking to each other, but their girlfriends were outside talking to each other. The Singh brothers and Leo Rush were outside, like cackling like bottoms. I was like, this is some gay fucking shit here. Like I couldn't watch it. You know, I couldn't watch it. It was so fucking gay. But yeah, Sonny, Aleister Black and Ricochet took on the Revival. Sonny, I was sliding all across Newark, Sonny.
So moving on, Roman Reigns accepted a Drew
Damn it.
McIntyre WrestleMania challenge.
I don't know. How are you feeling about Roman Reigns coming back after his cancer battle? Are you?
I'm happy that things worked out for Roman Reigns.
Yes.
I'm sorry I didn't miss him though.
Ooh,
Dude,
shade.
I'm
The
sad.
shade of it all.
I'm so
those
sorry.
are the thoughts and opinions of
Oh,
Vick the Villain.
you got disclaimed.
And they do not represent the thoughts and opinions
I
of
mean,
Yep, I Like
listen, I wasn't the huge mark for him before he left, and I was kind of tired of him in the main event scene. So I'm just not in a rush to see him in that heavyweight title picture. So I think this is a good move for him, and I actually think he's putting over Drew in this. So I think it's gonna be
Drew's
more of a
great.
Drew thing more than other than a Roman Reigns thing going on in this match.
Sir, how do you feel about Kurt Angle?
Oh man,
You
this
saw-
year or what specific year?
As a whole, as a whole.
Oh man, great technician, man, greatest of all time. Nah, that's a stretch, but I think
much
this
like his
match
knees.
definitely should have happened a while ago.
Are you ready for his? And they're calling it his farewell tour.
Oh, I love the tour though. The tour is great. The guys he's selecting, or he has a choice of selecting, has been great. Samoa Joe, I think he's gonna do AJ tonight, and then he has Rey Mysterio next Monday.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken. So
I just think it's time for him to hang it up. It's time.
yeah, definitely. It's been a while. I think.
For those of you who live here in New York, do you know who Kurt Angle reminds me of? He's the guy on the 2 train who's a veteran and has no legs, and he pulls himself on that little skateboard. Do you know that guy on the train?
That is so
That's
fucked
Kurt
up,
Angle.
yo.
That's Kurt Angle. You're sad, but you give him money anyway.
Shout out to the New York subway.
Yes, that's Kurt Angle. Like, this farewell tour is just sad. Like, we're
Yo,
just
can-
dragging the bones of Kurt Angle along to WrestleMania.
Can I just tell you, I saw one of them dudes when he first got on the train.
Yes.
Motherfucker took out a watch,
Goodness. I tell you.
put his fucking wallet in his bag, and then he.
Did you see him walk to his car?
No, I saw him walk off on his stumps. And fucking
Oh,
go
it's
through
terrible.
train by train after he pulled out his big ass can.
Oh man.
You're terrible, Sonny. It's terrible. And sir, if you're listening, you should not own a cell phone if you're begging for money. The final match of the night, Drew
Motherfucker
McIntyre.
had a better phone than me.
He does, I know. He's terrible. Drew McIntyre defeating Dean Ambrose in a last man standing.
I'm also enjoying this Dean Ambrose farewell tour.
Really?
If you haven't noticed, he's been closing up Raw the last couple of weeks. I think
Is
this
it
might
really?
be it.
He's not going
If he's
anywhere.
going anywhere.
He's
This
not
could be
going
it.
anywhere.
No, you think this will work?
Yes.
All right.
Actually, I thought it was a negotiation tactic that has now become a work.
Okay.
Work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I know is Renee's fucking jackets are so loud I can barely hear her on commentary. Fucking jacket's so fucking loud. Can't stand her jackets.
You know why?
Why?
Because Dean has a little bit left.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
shout out
fucking
to
gross.
Renee.
She said that. She said that on commentary. I hate to tell you this, but he always has a little bit left. She's talking about pre-cum, Sonny, and I don't like that. That's fucking gross. This is a show. This is a publicly traded company. Don't talk like that, Renee. I hope she
Renee's
gets
wild.
fired. I hope she gets fired. I don't want to talk
I
about
think
your
we
husband.
all hope
like-
she gets fired.
She needs to get fired. I can't stand her. So, gentlemen, that was Raw. We're going to leave SmackDown to
So
the
wait, we're gonna
unpop-
forget
What's
about
that?
we're gonna forget
What's
about
that?
the
What?
opening
What?
beat the clock challenge.
Yes, I already went through the ladies. They're on Mania. We don't need
Where
to talk
was
about
I
that
when you went
stupid
through?
beat the clock challenge.
Honestly, I want to say one thing about the beat the clock challenge.
Lord, fucking Liv Morgan.
No.
Oh, if you say Sarah Logan, I'm leaving.
No.
Ruby Riot? You do Ruby Riot? You're fucking gross.
No.
Oh,
I just want to say about collectively, the Riot Squad.
yes.
Yo, I would be fucking mad if I was the Riot Squad getting buried the way they did.
They got so buried.
I haven't seen a bury since, name any dead wrestler.
Oh, goodness. Disclaim yourself, Sonny. That burial was just
You know
terrible.
what? I didn't say a name, so you know what? That's the disclaimer
You are
loophole.
slippery. You are slippery.
The disclaimer loophole is not to say a name.
Goodness. Yeah.
Smart.
I mean, the Riot Squad, it's,
Yeah.
you know, they were just fed to the ladies and...
Yeah, I kind of like
Somebody
that.
that.
Oh, you see, I said, okay, you know what, Sonny? Take us home, because I'm fucking nauseated. Sonny, I'm sick. Take us home, Sonny.
Thank you for joining us for episode 73 of the Yep, I Like Wrestling podcast.
Pre-cum.
It's been a joy to talk wrestling for you guys. Please make sure you follow us on all podcast platforms by searching Yep, I Like Wrestling. And make sure you also follow us on all social media by searching at YEPILW. And for anything else, Yep, I Like Wrestling related, please go to our website, YEPILW.com. And for today's episode, my name is Sonny Sofrito, and I was joined today by...
Vick the Villain of the HPC Podcast.
And please let
Thank
them
you
know...
for having me, man. Appreciate
my
it.
pleasure. And please let everybody know where to find you.
All social media platforms, HPC 2 Sweet on Instagram and Twitter, and heelspopschairshots.com. Check us out there. We have some merch and all the good stuff for you. And check out that No Nice Things tailgate, right, April 7th, at
So-
MetLife Stadium.
So it's a tailgate party at MetLife Stadium on April 7th.
On April the 7th.
Starting at what time again?
We'll be starting at 1 p.m. and we'll take you all the way up to bell time for the show. So
Okay. So make sure you check them out at the tailgate party that they're doing, because we're going to have some Yep, I Like Wrestling people with them hanging out, and it's going to be a fun time.
thanks, my guy.
Yeah.
Can't
Never
wait, man.
been
It's
to
gonna
a
be
tailgate.
It's gonna be a thing.
Teddy, you're forbidden from a tailgate, because we know what you
Damn. I wanted to go to one. Damn.
No, you could do a tailgate in Newark, not in
I
MetLife.
often do tailgates in Newark, Sonny.
Yeah, we all know.
Yes.
According to this podcast, we know about all the tailgates you do.
Shout out to KY Jelly.
Oh, God. For today's episode, we will also join today by...
The greatest general manager in Yep, I Like Wrestling history.
Take care. Peace out. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
No one's here to do the bye, Sonny. Sarah's not here.
Oh, well, check out Unpopular Review on Facebook, and they'll say bye. And also go to Amazon and get your hoodie for WrestleMania, and they'll say bye. And
If
bye.
Bye.
Suck at that, Teddy.
Oh, no.